Hi, everyone. I'm Shelby, the League's Associate Director of Advocacy and State Affairs.
I'm Dave Groshek, the League's Director of Advocacy and Federal Affairs. We're thrilled that you're going to be joining us in DC for the 2025 America's Credit Unions GAC.
First, let me extend our sincere thanks to this year's sponsors: the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, the Lamakia Group, Corporate Central Credit Union, and TrueStage.
Let's jump right into a few updates. Important for this Wisconsin group to know is if you've not already downloaded the America's Credit Unions GAC app on your phone, highly recommend you do so. It offers schedule and breakout details, allows you to create a personal schedule, all the sessions you'd like to attend, and you can better navigate the expo hall. Plus, you can connect with other attendees, including everybody in Wisconsin and around the country, and importantly, access the League's packet, all from the app.
The annual America's Credit Unions PAC sweepstakes will again take place during the conference this year. Credit unions must have a signed permission agreement to participate. If your credit union does not have an up-to-date one, don't worry, we'll reach out to ensure that you are afforded the opportunity to participate in the sweepstakes, because sweepstakes are not permissible in the state of Wisconsin. This is likely the only raffle or sweepstakes that you'll be able to participate in to benefit political advocacy.
It's America's Credit Union's PAC, which supports our federal candidates running for office. So that'd be Senators Baldwin, Senator Johnson, or any of our members of the House delegation. There are over 50 prizes, each valued around $200. And last year, we even had 2 Wisconsin attendees win one of these prizes. Donations to America's Credit Union's PAC must be personal and cannot be paid for by the credit union or with a corporate credit card.
While you're able to participate throughout the conference, the Wisconsin Welcome Reception on Sunday evening will be the best time to kind of check this box and make sure you're participating in the sweepstakes. Last year, Wisconsin raised $12,500, landing Wisconsin at number 5 in fundraising across all states. So we're setting our sights a little bit higher this year. Help us to raise $15,000 during the America's Credit Union sweepstakes this year. That equates to around $200 per Wisconsin attendee, and will put our state on a great path toward our 2025 giving goals.
The Wisconsin Welcome Reception is where you'll be able to connect with all of our peers in Wisconsin and easily get your sweepstakes entries in place. And this will happen on Sunday from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the Henley Park Hotel, which is the hotel just across the street from the convention center. When you enter the front entrance, you'll be able to see the reception room just to your right.
We'll be hosting a second gathering as well on Sunday evening. The 1934 reception will take place at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library on the 5th floor from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Attendees that are visiting the Wisconsin Welcome Reception as well as the 1934 reception can head to the 1934 reception together with staff from the League. The 1934 reception will feature attendees from various states and special guest Jean Chatzky, founder and CEO of Her Money, American journalist, and finance columnist, to introduce an exclusive screening of Opportunity Next, a show in coordination with the largest economic mobility campaign in U.S. history, focusing on people helping people, the Opportunity Initiative. Feel free to dress in Gatsby 1920s attire.
Third event that we're very excited about is happening on Tuesday, March 5th from 3 to 7 p.m. in the United States Capitol. It is the Wisconsin Congressional Reception, and it is in the Lyndon Baines Johnson Room, a historic room on the U.S. Senate side of the United States Capitol. All of the Wisconsin's congressional delegation has been invited, and those that are able to attend will have their meetings with those of you that reside or have a credit union in their congressional district. This is a good opportunity to remember that with everything going on in DC, these meetings will be where we'll be putting our political differences aside and enter the space to recognize that all of these lawmakers will have an impact on credit unions' ability to serve your members, and we want them to understand and appreciate the value of supporting us and being our partner. We'll be sticking to credit union issues, especially with the tax debate that is happening right now in Congress.
As we're working with legislators at confirming these meeting times, the details of the event are a little bit in flux still. As soon as they're confirmed, we'll notify you and update the packet and send out a calendar invite for the legislative meetings that you are scheduled to attend. So keep an eye out for those calendar invites. We've also identified meeting attendees for each meeting in the meeting's materials packet. As you've likely noticed, there are some meetings yet to be confirmed.
Our week out in DC is expected to be a real busy one. And with lots of other groups in town visiting their members of Congress, it'll be especially busy. It's also the State of the Union, which everybody's going to have a fun time watching, sure. And there'll be jam-packed schedules for our legislators. We'll be continuously updating the packet, and we'll be sending out those calendar invites to everyone once the meetings are confirmed, or if a meeting time changes or a location changes for some reason. All the times listed are in Eastern time zone, and attendees are responsible for your own transportation to Capitol Hill. If you know to your cab or your Uber driver which building you're going to, they'll be able to get you there. Try to arrive 20 to 30 minutes early to make your way through all necessary security lines.
As always, anticipate those security lines, brief meetings, and on occasion, we may be meeting with staff, depending on schedules. Each meeting will also have a designated meeting lead to initiate the conversation and pass along our leave behind materials. All attendees are encouraged to participate at your own comfort level. So if you're comfortable, jump in with the People Before Profit story or to answer any questions. League staff will also be present in all of these meetings to be able to tackle questions from the legislator or to make note to follow up with an answer or with additional details.
In the same packet, we've provided the meeting guide and a secondary issues guide. The meeting guide will have the talking points that we hope to cover in our meetings. And you'll note that it's heavy on building an understanding of credit unions and the value that you provide members in the communities that you are in the last year. And we'll be consistently driving home the point that 3.9 million Wisconsin citizens are members of credit unions and depend on your work to improve their financial well-being. The financial well-being of their communities builds trust and appreciation for the credit union industry. Specifically, we'll also be discussing the credit union tax exempt status and the Don't Tax My Credit Union campaign and our need to protect it.
Our final two asks are to support legislation to repeal the small business loan data collection requirements under Section 1071 of Dodd-Frank, and finally, to thank members of the House for passing H.R. 975, the Credit Union Board Modernization Act, allowing credit union boards of well-run federal credit unions to meet 6 times per year instead of once per month. We will urge Wisconsin senators to support this when the Senate takes action on this legislation.
The secondary issues guide is there to provide additional background on a handful of topics that may come up in meetings. Attendees are encouraged to use these talking points to address the topic if the member of Congress brings it up and to help move the conversation along. The meeting lead can also jump in to respond to questions that are anticipated or unanticipated. If you're interested in a more in-depth look into the credit union priorities of what's happening on Capitol Hill, I recommend the America's Credit Unions Briefing for Wisconsin, provided by Hannah and Phil, and that this will also be linked in the email that you're receiving with all of these Wisconsin attendee materials.
Finally, a reminder that there are resources outlining everything we've mentioned here. The link to the meeting materials will always take you to the most up-to-date version of our packet. We'll try to summarize changes recently made on that front page to help you better identify them within the packet. The link to the packet can also be found in the America's Credit Union's GAC app under the League info. Finally, keep an eye out again for those calendar invites, which also change as there are continuous changes to any of the Wisconsin legislative meetings.
Last but not least, don't hesitate to reach out to Shelby or I with questions on meetings, about the conference in general, dinner recommendations, and whatever you need to help make this a valuable and enjoyable conference. Our phone numbers and emails are here, and the best way to reach us is probably on our phones. That will be probably on the move, and texting and calling us will be the way to go. Thanks again, safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you out in DC.